Also, I don't know why I rode the raft out, because I could probably fast travel from there. And I now have no leads except for this infernum extinguisher, or extinguare, excuse me. I know where that goes, but for giggles, just to see if he has anything to say, even though you and I both know he probably doesn't. Let's go to the rebel camp and see if Duke has anything to say, like that he's learned something, or that he's encountered some horrifying truth that will affect our journey in some way.
If you're here to see the Duke, you're too late. He and the rest of the men have already left for Chains, but they'll send word if they need help.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
So, Chains, where is Chains? Oh, it's not even on the map. Oh, I guess that means we don't go there. Okay. I guess Fire Tree is where we're going. We will use the amulet. It goes ding and the fire goes out. Oh, I was hoping it would do something more visually cool. Like we would hold this, we would hold the necklace aloft and it would summon a torrent of water would just pour out of the amulet and extinguish the fire. Or it would make it rain or something.
Insisting that you should join him at the Temple of the Oracle as soon as possible.
Okay. Why didn't you tell me that before I came all the way here? Because now I'm just going to have to go all the way back. But sure, let's go talk to Dr. Bazooka Joe, or whatever his name is. He might just be telling me he's developed a new potion.
I've reviewed the calculations of my formula.
Oh, that's exactly what he's done.
To increase the potency of my wee potions.
Which I've never bought.
No extra cost to your good self, I might add.
That's good.
I'll also do you a favour and swap your old files.
That's fantastic. I wasn't expecting that.
Now, can I interest you in any of my more potent wares?
Exploding vials sounds pretty cool. That's new. I will buy one of those.
A volatile, but highly effective choice.
Alright, a bag of money. This is obviously a trap. Yes, of course it is. Not a particularly good one. And they're dropping roast rats, which are an even better healing item than, like, the cheese, which the cheese still does quite a bit. Ooh, 500 bucks. That's nice. So I can leave to the right. I'm assuming I can leave to the left as well. Yes, I can. Frankly, they're both kind of curving in what looks like it would ultimately be a circle, so they might lead to the same place, which, honestly, it feels like in basically every location we've been to, the paths always kind of converge. There haven't been that many dead ends in the game. And the gold just keeps bouncing farther away. Which you can barely see because obviously our heads-up display is mostly covering it. Which is fantastic. It'd be nice if the heads-up display swapped to the other side if we were underneath it. Also, why are there gravestones out here? We're like in some weird-ass swamp. Out in the forest. Why would there be a cemetery here? Usually cemeteries are relatively close to town. Oh, is this just an arena with a mini-boss? Oh. Okay, I was expecting to run around a little longer before running into a boss. Well, let's have her do fire. I have to cast it first, or she'll just stand there. Oh, it does nothing. Okay. Well, never mind then. David, do you want to do anything? Okay, you try ice. He's not going to cast it until I do. That also does 0. Oh, wait. Then they did damage. Oh, he did a special move. What a dick. Okay, guys. Oh my god, guys. You're not even trying not to get hit. No, fucking Vivian. This menu is pissing me off. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, that looks like it's gonna hurt. Get the fuck out of the way. Jesus Christ, David. What? Oh, you buffoon. Oh god. Have another rat. Jug can have some cheese. Vivian needs to get the fuck out of the way. Okay, go to Vivian. She has cleaver equipped. Also, she has the wrong weapon equipped. I want her to have a battle axe. Move the fuck out of the way. Okay, Jug, you have Cleaver? Cleaver's not quite ready. So, Web, do it. Miss horribly. Vivian, move. Jug, move. David can have another rat. They're very delicious. I'm sure he's not bothered by chugging down rats at all. There. Piece of cake. Again, the difficulty is really just in maneuvering the other party members. If I was only controlling one character, that fight would have been utterly trivial. The only difficulty is that I'm shackled to babysitting idiots. I'm tempted, actually, just to have one party member, you know, and just get rid of the party entirely. Just to see how it works, because I feel like it would work better. I could be wrong, but I feel like it would work better. And we just got a red key, which is apparently bronze. That, I'm pretty sure, was the one for, the door to Glass's place. I guess we came here just to get that key, and this was a crazy short area. Also, how much health do I have now? 647, 462. Wow. Okay, we're getting actually quite a lot of health per level. Because what was David had like 390 before, right? Now he has 554. That's a pretty big jump. Also, this area was like 2 screens long, so we got that level weirdly close to our previous level from fighting the dragon. I feel like the pacing in this game is strange. The areas keep being shorter than I expect. And then you're like, oh, we're at the boss already? I thought we'd have more wandering around to do, or more of a dungeon. And a few screens later, you're like, oh, we're at another boss. Like, I just leveled up twice in the span of maybe 20 minutes, if that. And part of that was just that I went back to the camp and talked to the guy that said the Duke's not there. And then part of it was I went back to talk to Bazooka Joe. Very strange. That's going to spawn enemies, of course. I can replenish some of my rat stores, though. I mean, this combat here, it's blunt and brutish and devoid of nuance, but it is kind of fun to do. The bosses have really not been. Like, when we're just chopping through, just cartoonishly just bashing our way through general rabble, it's kind of fun in a dumb, simple joy sort of way. But when we're doing a boss, and the challenge becomes not fighting the boss, but rather constantly trying to maneuver my companions, because the awkward thing here is you have to keep in mind what the Dreamcast controller looks like. Because the way I change which person I'm controlling here is with the D-pad. So we have the portraits up top. I'm currently controlling Jug, obviously. He's highlighted on screen and he's highlighted around his portrait. So if I wanted to switch to Vivian, I press D-pad left because her portrait is to the left of me, not because she's to the right of me on screen, because she wouldn't always be to the right of me. Like, you know, now she's to the left. Depends on where you're located, but it's based on which portrait, it's based on the order of the portraits. So to switch to Vivian, I would press left on the D-pad, and to switch to David, I would press right I could either go left twice, or I could press right to loop around to him. So it's based on the portraits, and I'm using the D-pad to switch. But the problem is the D-pad is under the analog stick. So I'm controlling the analog stick with my left thumb, but the D-pad is also generally done with my left thumb. So if I'm scrolling, my thumb is now no longer on the analog stick. So what I've actually been doing instead during the boss fights is leaving my left thumb on the analog stick, but reaching across to the D-pad with my right thumb. Which is kind of awkward, but it also means now, with my right thumb, which normally controls the buttons, if it's across the controller at the D-pad, it's not next to the buttons, meaning I can't open the menu to heal. So in the boss fights, it's this kind of awkward toggling between, like, I'm reaching across the controller to the D-pad, then back to the controller to open the menu, and then back across it to D-pad, and then back across it to menu. This would be so much better if I could switch characters with my right thumb more easily, if there was a button to cycle through them or anything. Now, in the pie menu here, the D-pad now does nothing but hitting A. Well, hitting in the pie menu, if you're tilting the stick a direction, hitting A opens that menu. But if you're not tilting the stick, hitting A cycles to the next party member. so that you can switch party members without unpausing the game. That's nice. I would prefer it used the D-pad like it does in-game. Out here, D-pad changes party member and A attacks. But here, D-pad does nothing and A switches party member. Like, it should still just be party member, especially because it's not doing anything else. Like, if it had to be used for something else in the menu, I would get it, but it's not actually doing anything here. And then the annoying thing of using A to switch party members here is that you can't switch either direction. You can only go forward because it's just a button. So there's not forward and back, there's just forward. So out here, like, again, if I'm Jug and I want to go to David, he's 2 portraits away. But rather than hitting left twice, I can just hit right once. But in here, you can't do that. So I would actually have to hit A twice. I have to go to Vivian and then to David. So it's you have to cycle past the one you're not interested in, where out here you don't need to. So there's like this weird double standard between the way it works in gameplay and the way it works in the menu. Why would you design it that way when the D-pad isn't used in the menu anyway? I would get having to move it to something else if the D-pad served an important role in the menu, but it doesn't. I'm twiddling the D-pad right now and nothing is happening, so why not just make it also scroll through the party members? This interface is just, it's not a clusterfuck, but it's not great. Like, it could use some refinement. A simple change here would be, again, just let me use the D-pad in the pie menu. That alone would make a big difference. And then in terms of moving the party members around out here, one of the things that makes it very annoying is, again, the only real challenge in the boss fights is maneuvering your party members. If you can maneuver yourself, it's fine, because the bosses telegraph their attacks so extremely. Like that guy there, when he did his big powerful spin attack that did indeed do a lot of damage, he did a really long wind-up where you could tell he was going to do it for like 5 minutes before it actually happened. I mean, you have plenty of time to run away from it before it happens. And then his other one, where he like had the particles kind of vacuuming into him like he's going to do a charge attack that rained down fire from above, that one also had a really long wind-up that you could easily have plenty of time to get away. The problem is, you move yourself away, and then you're like, okay, I'll switch to my party members to have them move away. But you'll note what happens when you switch party members is that they fucking follow you. So, like, if I'm over here, and I switch to Vivian, now, if I move at all, David follows me. So one of the things that happens when you're switching party members is sometimes I'm wanting to switch directions and move the other way, or I want one party member to go right and one party member to go left, and you kind of can't, because if you switch to the party member and move right, the one that you sent left will then actually start moving to the right to be closer to that party member, and so your positioning gets fucked up. And so you're like fighting the UI, fighting the AI at the same time, and it's annoying. Also, I don't think I checked if there was a second exit on this screen. Didn't look like there was, but sometimes they're kind of hidden. Oh, there is. See, there's one to the left. So it's not atrociously bad, these controls and interface, but it's just not good enough that I'm really annoyed, you know? Some minor changes, some minor modifications would make a big difference here. Like, it wouldn't take a lot to make some noticeable quality of life improvements here. The best would be if the AI just did a better job of avoiding damage in the first place, because then that would reduce the load on me having to do it all for them. Okay, so just for fun, let's see how life magic works. Okay, yeah, like any other ranged thing, you hold L and then cycle to your intended target. So I will go to myself and hit A. And there you go. But now I switch back to a weapon. Oh, wait, now I also have to do a shield every fucking time. Again, there's one of those obscured chests. I have no idea how to do whatever I do with those. I guess that's a thing you're just going to spend a huge amount of time backtracking to later in the game. And just returning to every area you've been to clean those up.
If your path takes you to the monastery, turn back. You'll find nothing there but an asylum of psychotic madmen.
And the monks?
They are all demented. Our water supply was poisoned.
Oh.
By Silver?
That's my belief. We wouldn't bow down and renounce our ideology.
Yeah, then it was probably him.
We're strong, virtuous people, and he's punished us by stealing our peace and damning us to a life of anguish.
Well, he is a bit of a dick. This does not surprise me.
You say we. Have you been affected by the poison?
No, I was in rain during the infection and was spared the madness. But while my brothers suffer, I suffer.
Rest assured, Silver will pay.
But that doesn't really undo the fact that everyone's been poisoned.
Where will you go?
If your mission challenges Silver, then my place is with you.
Oh,
I am strong and proficient in the more traditional fighting arts. I would be a loyal ally.
okay. I'm assuming by traditional fighting arts, he means punching and kicking, meaning I guess he's good without a weapon. Just to see what he's like, I'm going to swap out Jug for now.
We would be honored. But first, how do we address you?
By my given name,
Well, yeah.
Cagen.
Okay. Yeah, you could have just said Cagen. I know what a name is. You didn't need to explain it first.
Check if we've had word from the Duke.
He has 485 health, which is a little more than Vivian, but less than David. Strength 134. Dexterity is a shocking 260. What is David's then? 126. No, yeah, he just has insane dexterity. 144 magic. Oh, that's more than both of them. Oh, so he's good at magic and punching. Oh my god. Can he do a cleaver attack with no weapon? No, I guess not. But that makes sense. Maybe he's not actually expected to be unarmed. He says more traditional fighting arts. To me, that sounds like martial arts, like punching and kicking, but maybe if I gave him a sword, he would still do more damage. Oh, are they going to attack me? Oh, they are. Okay. I mean, I know he said they were mad or whatever, but I wasn't expecting them to be straight up hostile. And I just punched a dude into chunks. I just punched a dude that's this guy's friend, used to be this guy's friend, into chunks. Well, now I'm tempted to keep this guy because he hits like a freight train. So actually, he seems pretty good at a lot of things. He's good at punching, he should be good with spells, and he should be good with range. He doesn't have a ton of health, but it's not terrible either. He's more than Vivian. I guess I'll keep him for a bit. So she has 149 strength. David has 171. So I will give David the longsword that Jug used to have. We got a new magic item as well. The lightning staff. That was in the chest, I think, that had the key in it. So now the question is, should I head to Glass's place, or should I go explore this monastery? We have not been told to go into this monastery, and I don't really have a plan for going in here other than, I guess, just Cagen's gonna punch all of his former friends into bloody chunks, and there might be an orb in here. He's gonna run away. Scratch his ass briefly. Okay. Oh yeah, this thing does almost no melee damage. Okay. If I give him a sword, though, or an axe, he does 10 damage. If I unequip it, he punches for like 20, 30. Okay, yeah, he actually is better unarmed. I'm noticing a pattern. Every screen is this guy running away. Oh, he's not going to run this time? Do I actually punch him this time? Can I cheat and just burn him? Oh, he actually dodges it. Good for him. Oh, and he died in 2 hits. Okay, Cagen's actually pretty awesome. He does way more damage than either of the others, despite not having a weapon. There's a chest. Is it locked? It is not. We have a second longsword? Oh, thank God. Excellent. So I can give Vivian that. And then there's a cart that had a bowl with fruit in it that's been knocked over. My God, that's the real tragedy. It's weird that Cagen was kind of distraught that his friends have been, like, poisoned and they've lost their minds, and yet he's perfectly willing to just punch them all into chunks. You'd think that... So you'd think the story or, like, the objective for this particular area would be, guy runs out of monastery and says, hey, monastery's been poisoned, the water's been poisoned, everyone's gone insane. You'd think the story would be to save everybody, would be to, like, find an antidote. Like, we would find in fact, we know an alchemist. Bazooka Joe's an alchemist. Maybe we could go back to him, tell him what happened, and he could devise an antidote, and then we come back and we put the antidote in the water supply, which cleans the water because it negates the poison, and then maybe we could distribute the antidote to the other monks in the monastery, and it would cure them, and Cagen would have his friends back because we, like, solved the problem and cured them. No, instead we just come in and punch everybody into chunks. The plot idea for what we could be doing here basically writes itself. We should be fixing the water supply. Instead we just kill them all, and Cagen's apparently willing to do that. That just seems so pointlessly barbaric. And yeah, his kick does just insane amounts of damage. And I need to scroll the screen down manually. Ooh, we got a scythe. Oh, no, not an actual scythe. That must be a skill. Yes. And I'll use it on this guy. Ooh. Okay. It's just another kind of two-hit combo like most of them are. And yeah, Cagen just does so much more damage. I like this guy. But it's so weird we're just killing everybody. Why aren't we solving the problem instead? This is bizarre. Oh, my poor insane friends, now die. I mean, maybe their insanity can't be cured, you know, the poison is permanent or whatever, but like, you could just write it so that this is fixable, so that an antidote exists. We're in a world with magic and alchemists. I would totally believe an antidote existing. And again, we know an alchemist. We wouldn't even have to introduce a new character to solve the problem that way. So I'm assuming no specials work with Cagen. Yeah, I can't do scythe either. So I guess that's the trade-off, is he does a lot of damage and doesn't need a weapon, but you can't use specials. Again, there's still no music. It's been a long time since we've had music. Which is weird because, like, in Rain and in the library, the music never stopped. And now we've had none for quite some time. Alright, I was not controlling them there. Which is fine, because they were so far away, I wouldn't be able to tell which way I was facing anyway. Hello. Do I need to punch you into chunks as well? You must be a monk.
He appears to be unaffected by the poison.
Yeah, I noticed, because he wasn't trying to kill us.
Could meditation counter its effect?
Wow. Yeah, even if that's true, it won't save all the ones we punched into chunks.
It's more likely that he's remained in a trance throughout and hasn't drunk the infected water.
Do you think he can hear us?
If he chooses to.
That's not how hearing works.
I don't mean to disturb you.
But human nature is prone to inquisitiveness, I understand. And no, I didn't drink the water. But unfortunately, I'm the only one here who didn't.
Well, I knew that.
You must leave the monastery. You won't survive long without water.
I won't leave.
You fucking idiot.
Until the poison dissipates and the font is purified.
Oh, we are gonna do that.
Meditation will preserve me.
Is there nothing we can do to change your mind?
No, but it would help my concentration if you could find me one of life's great questions to ponder.
Oh, that's actually the second question. That's the second character that wants that.
We'll do what we can.
Thank you. But now...
The guy back at the library wanted a conundrum to ponder. So he said I'll stay here until the font is purified. Does that mean my objective is now to go find an antidote to fix the water? Or does he just mean it will be over time and I'm actually not supposed to do anything here, and the only reason this location even existed was to get Cagen in the party? Why am I here? But I guess there's nothing else to do here. I can't talk to him again, so I guess we just leave. Shame we killed everybody, but oh well. They were attacking me and that makes it okay. Even though that's still my fault for coming here when I knew ahead of time that they were insane. Meaning it's sort of my fault. Even though they're hostile, it's my fault that I incited them to a fight by coming in here when I knew that that was the likely outcome. Which kind of makes it not self-defense because I could have just left. I guess we just go to... Oh, this menu is so weird. No, Glass's Palace. There we go. That's harder to do than you'd think.
Watch your backs. Glass's mercenaries are deadly.
Well, I would expect nothing less from the daughter of the most evil man in the universe. Ooh. This place looks awesome. Lots of curves instead of straight lines. Nice kind of cross-hatched pattern on those pillars. I like the floor pattern here. Like that big marble sigil in the center is pretty cool. But the good news is we have lots of things to punch, which is really why we're here. trade-off of Cagen punching is that he has very little range. He's got stumpy little arms instead of a really long sword. Yeah, the short range is kind of a pain in the ass. Although his flying kick attack here actually is much better. I'll eat a rat, because there's one on the floor here. So that requires a key. I don't have a blue one. There's no door to the left, even though it sort of looks like there should be. We have music again. It's nice and sinister. Also, the goofy Viking helmets with the horns on them these guys have is amusing. There's just food showering everywhere. How much damage do they expect me to be taking? And I basically just stun-locked that guy. He dropped a weapon, though, it looks like. Steel shield and a warhammer. I guess David can have the warhammer. And I suppose the shield. Down is not an exit, so... of course, a bunch of guys come from there, though. See, even with, like, the crazy new weapon we just got, this awesome warhammer, David's now doing about the damage that Cagen does with his bare hands. That's ridiculous. Why is Cagen so much more powerful? I'm not complaining, because it makes him very useful. There's a pie, another battle axe. Oh no, those are throwing axes. Okay, I did notice he was doing that. Have some bread. Why are you not look, they're just standing there. He's right next to them, throwing axes at a party member, and they're not doing anything about it. Then she gets hit, and she's still not doing it. What the fuck is with the AI in this game? Like, they could have at least some initiative. You know, if I could just switch to Cagen and just be Cagen on his own, I would probably do that, but you can't take David out of the party because he is the protagonist. Even though he really isn't. There kind of is no one protagonist. Realistically, we all are. It's clearly just an ensemble cast. David is not specifically important, really. I mean, the kickoff of the plot was his wife Jennifer being captured, but I mean, everyone else has a beef with Silver anyway. The real plot here is that we're just trying to kill Silver, and we're sort of all equally motivated to do that. So treating him as, like, truly the main character where he can't be removed from the party isn't even really accurate. So, as far as I'm concerned, I should be able to take him out of the party. It's not like he's the chosen one or something like that where he's meaningfully more important in the plot. Also, I didn't realize until this shot here that that's the texture on the pillars is actually three-dimensional. You can see there it's sort of like this, they're three-dimensional studs, not just a checkering pattern. In the distance, I hadn't picked up on that. Cagen a pie. Yeah. Seafood's still doing plenty. I haven't even thought about using a potion. But yeah, look at these pillars. They have that nice sort of pyramid studs all over them. This is a really nice looking location. We also have like reflections of the window on the floor back there. Yeah, we have full reflections in here. Shiny ass floors. We've had good visual variety though, I'll say that. We've had grassy areas, we've had a burnt forest, we've had a swamp, briefly. We had a dilapidated old library, we've had an ostentatious castle here. We had a snowy area, briefly. We had an underwater area, although that's not as exciting as it should have been, because it didn't feel underwater. Because we never got an establishing shot, and there weren't, like, windows to see water and sea life outside. So that one was a little underwhelming, but... And, yeah, these guys are actually doing a fair bit of damage. I still have plenty of healing, but... I'm also being kind of sloppy, where I'm not really trying that hard not to get hit. Mostly because this game has been excessively easy so far. So if it looks like I'm being sloppy in combat, I kind of am. Because it's not really worth being that careful because there's plenty of healing. David, you fool. Okay, he took care of it. Then we very tediously scroll to each person and have them eat something. And, it all just takes too long. No, I totally wasted that special there. Also, I need to give him a better special. Let's do Cleaver. I go around and heal and pick all this crap up. Nice light shafts through the windows here. Oh, and we looped around. Wait a minute. We looped around and neither got an item nor found another path. I can't go down here. So indeed, there is only the one way to go here. Right, this screen here. Can't scroll it, and there's no additional exit. So there's only one way to go. Alright, now this room, despite its size... Oh, there is a door up there. I hadn't scrolled the screen up enough for that one to appear. So I had missed that one. Oh. Did I just one-shot that guy? I feel slightly over-leveled here. These enemies are weirdly trivial. I guess there have been some enemies in this area that have done a lot of damage. They still don't have very much health, but there are a couple that actually at least hit me fairly hard. Oh god, throwing axes. Okay, fine. Stop it, you assholes. And they actually reposition to put some space between you and them so that they can keep throwing. Which is... I mean, a very basic thing for a character with a ranged weapon to do, but that's actually surprisingly sophisticated given the overall quality of the AI in this game. And I guess I can't carry any more throwing axes. So, I guess for fun, how about you throw axes? That door requires... I'm trying to tell what I'm looking at. I guess a sparkly key? Is that a key with like a gemstone in the handle? Yeah, these do a reasonable amount of damage. Oh, fuck, these enemies hit really hard, though. Okay, David's about to kick the bucket. Yeah, it's that spin attack they do is just devastating. And of course, Cagen doesn't have a shield, which I guess is his weakness. In addition to his not being able to do specials. Yeah, that's a shame. He's like a really powerful character, but he has multiple downsides. Ow. And of course, I took a shit ton of damage on that screen, and yet it doesn't even matter, because I'm rolling in healing items. Well, given that we've been through several screens, and every area's been very short, we're probably coming up on a boss fight. So I'm gonna go ahead and save, even though I would ordinarily avoid this one, because it hasn't been that long since I saved. Oh, yeah. It seems like the boss is on the next screen. Okay. Oh shit, that actually froze my teammates. Oh. Well, I was not in control when that happened, so, like, that was scripted to go that way. Can I not unfreeze them? Interesting. I guess they've mixed things up by forcing me to do this solo. It's kind of cool. Oh, he spat out a magic orb. That was generous. Ooh, those curve a bit. Ooh. I don't think my spells do. That's not fair. So... I think the trick is, once again, that he doesn't move. Yeah, I don't have no magic. Looks like because my last two hits didn't do much damage. It looks like I really should be waiting till because he's panting right now. So I think I'm supposed to be waiting for him to do his big attack, and then he pants afterwards because he's tired, and that's probably... The spell will probably do... Or when he comes up like that, and I can hit him in the soft underbelly, maybe that's the intent. But now I just need to run around until I get my magic back, really. So it's actually kind of cool they've mixed things up by forcing me to do this one solo. It feels incredibly arbitrary that they did that, but... It does give some variety that fundamentally makes this boss fight... Oh yeah, that does way more damage if I do it then. Okay. That one curves a lot more. It's not, you know, it's nice that this boss fight doesn't just go exactly the same way as the previous dragon we fought. So I appreciate the attempt to give some variety. Unfortunately, the problem here is that it's really not that engaging a fight because it has the same problem they all do in that he's not moving. I mean, look at this big-ass room. Oh, yeah. That does even more damage then. Nice. But, like, we have this huge-ass room. This is a big... Oh, fuck. That hurt really badly. This is a big-ass room. He has plenty of space to, like, roam around and maneuver and try to dodge my attacks or try to close in on me, and he's just choosing not to do it. Which does make him seem both very dumb and not particularly threatening. So, I appreciate the attempt... I was slightly late on that. I appreciate the attempt at variety, but it ultimately doesn't actually make much difference, really. Although, this is giving me a chance to test what I mentioned earlier, which is the idea of just being alone instead of having a party. And indeed, it does make this really trivial, because I don't have to... I'm not futzing about with the D-pad trying to select them and move them around. I only need to worry about maneuvering myself, and that actually makes this really straightforward and kind of easy. So I was right, apparently, when I said earlier that the only real source of difficulty is fucking around with your party members. It's a good thing he gives me ammo to kill him with, though. However, the previous dragon we fought, the green one, it didn't drop magic orbs at all, which is why that fight took so ridiculously long, of course. So I don't know why this one suddenly, they're just giving me magic so that the fight doesn't take all day. But why didn't they do that in the previous fight? Because the previous fight actually did take all day. It was ridiculously long. Maybe they expected me to do the previous fight more with ranged weapons, but it wasn't really doable with ranged weapons for me because my ranged weapons were doing 0 damage. Which means either that boss cannot be taken out by ranged weapons, or it's just because I didn't have Sukuni, which is the only one that would have a high enough skill for it to do damage. Don't know. But that was weirdly easy, because I didn't have to maneuver my dumbass party members, and they gave me magic orbs so I didn't have to wait. So, yeah. The trick to making the game really, really trivial is just not having a party. Which is very strange, because typically having party members should make things easier, because you have a higher damage output, you have more abilities, but here, they're just more of a nuisance than anything. Chicken leg, an apple I can't carry, and a roast rat. So once again, it's a chest that has nothing but food in it, some of which I can't carry. Like, why do I even open chests? They rarely have anything of substance. I got the longbow from a chest, and I got a second longsword from one, but that's about it. Also, this room is amazing. We have a nice domed ceiling we can scroll all the way up to, even though that's not playable terrain up there. These cool windows with like the arched cutouts, but like they're like tiered. There's like 3 stacks to the arch around them. That cool thing spanning the gap of the big central one with like the circle and the 3 triangles in the points. That's nice geometric interest. It's more geometrically complicated than it needs to be, which adds visual interest. We have all these crenellations along kind of the halfway point where the straight wall turns into a dome. Again, these pyramidal studded pillars look great. Nice reflective floor. The red carpet's weirdly tattered, which is the only thing that looks knackered here. I don't know why that looks knackered when the rest of the place actually looks super clean and like it's maintained, unlike the library, which was across the board dilapidated. So I don't know why the red carpet looks like shit here. Nice complex candle stands. It would take like 3 hours to light all these candles because there's so fucking many of them. More nice sun shafts, casting long shadows. So we get a lot of shape to the lighting in here because we have these streaks on the floor. And of course we have, this appears to be a throne room. So I think those are 2 thrones there. It's kind of hard to tell because they're in the distance and the resolution isn't great, but I think those are thrones. And they're all weirdly flanged and shit. And then, of course, there's this giant, what appears to be a mirror, because it looks like it's reflecting the thrones, When I first looked in this room, it looked like it was a painting, but it's clearly a mirror. That the woman there, whoever that is, if that's supposed to be Glass herself or just some woman, but that's the same design we saw in the emblem in the entrance to this place. That was in that circular mosaic on the floor, except here it's full body. So that's a repeated motif, but it's not literally identical because it's a larger image than it was before. So it's not just straight copy-pasted. Tons of detail here. Of course, that's the upside of a pre-rendered background, is it can be as detailed as you want because you're not rendering it. But all my complaints about the pre-rendered backgrounds still stand in that it does make everything very static, and it's weird how small we are on the screen most of the time. So we got a Barracks key, which is a design I have not actually seen yet. There is a place actually called Barracks on the map, though. It's in Verdant. I think it's that place where there was the guy selling food. It was one of the first places we've seen. I don't remember seeing a locked door there.
Silver will be incensed that we've dared to take this orb from his daughter's palace. Then again, he's becoming more and more accustomed to failure.
Yeah, he better get used to the taste of failure. It's a special flavor. So yeah, I guess we are done at Glass's Palace. I'd say that's my favorite location so far, at least visually. It was still weirdly short in terms of like number of rooms and how long we're there. Not a lot going on. Part of the reason it feels like things are moving very quickly is purely from the fact that it's not turn-based combat. Because in something like Final Fantasy, when you're in a cave or something, part of why it feels like you're in that cave for a long time is the simple fact that the combat takes a long time. Because turn-based is slow and you have to wait for like the screen transition for random encounters and the fade to black and then the fade back. And the fact that random encounters can happen many, many times. Where here, once you've cleared the screen, you've cleared the screen. You can then run around the screen all you want. You don't hit more combat. I guess a lot of the feeling like the areas in something like Final Fantasy are longer or you do spend more time there is illusory because it's padded really by the fact that turn-based combat and random encounters unnecessarily lengthen the game. So I guess me feeling like the pacing here is off is not necessarily true so much as it is just a natural consequence of the fact that it's real time. And frankly, upon reflecting on that, I think that's worth it. Also, I just now realized, and I should have earlier, I don't know why I didn't, if this is a mirror back there, it's fucking weird we're not in it. You know, like we're standing right in front of it. Now, of course, since it's a pre-rendered background, there wouldn't be like a real-time reflection there to put us in it. But I'm saying you could actually duplicate our character models back there, theoretically. Or if you didn't want to do that, if you didn't have a really good solution for the reflection, then don't put a mirror in the background, because that would avoid the problem at the source. Whatever, let's head to the Barracks, because it's the only thing on the map actually called Barracks, and I have not seen that key design anywhere. There's more people here than last time. That's interesting.
I assume you'll be needing some supplies.
Oh my god, you can buy arrows. This guy wasn't here before, I don't think. There was the guy that sold food when we were here at the beginning of the game. Oh, so I've been able to buy arrows all along. Well, fuck. That's annoying. That kind of makes me want to go back and get Sakuni. I guess I could just to mix things up a little. So it's 25, but for how many? Oh, not that many. That's more than a gold per shot, man. It seems like if I was routinely coming back here and stocking up on arrows, I feel like that's really expensive. More than a gold per shot when I don't actually get gold very often, and you blow through the arrows pretty fast, actually. But screw it, I will buy some.
Enjoy your merchandise and please tell all your friends that I'm here.
Ooh, cakes. We've never had cakes. Between cheese and rats. Which is not a sentence I expected to say today, honestly. Is there anyone else to talk to? No, and there's also nothing locked. I'm positive I have not seen that key design before. I would have remembered a weirdly striped one. Huh. Well, for now, I'm gonna go get Sakuni. Ooh, plot development of some kind.
David!
Oh, Ben!
We need your help. We were ambushed as we raided the prison at Chains. We didn't have a chance. Fusion and his men were waiting inside.
Shouldn't you have expected that? How did you not know that raiding a prison would potentially have resistance? We were ambushed. How can you be ambushed by people you knew were gonna be there?
What happened?
Some were killed during the attack. while the Duke, William and the others were taken half-beaten and bloody to the cells. They may not make it. A few of us were lucky. We got away.
What of your brother? Did he escape?
I went back after the guards had gone and searched through the bodies. John was dead.
Jesus.
I carried him to a safe place and gave him a decent burial.
This got kind of heavy all of a sudden.
I'm sorry.
Please, just get the Duke and the others out of there before more die.
We will.
Well, okay. I guess that explains why I didn't know where the barracks key goes. It must go to a door in an area we have not been to yet. Alright, let's take Sukuni for a bit.
Ben told you about the ambush.
Yeah.
Yes, and we'll do everything we can to free them.
Fuge was waiting for the Duke. He'll be waiting for you.
And we'll be ready for him.
Damn straight, Cagen.
Then go to the tavern in Rain and see Mildew the barman.
Oh, is he finally not going to be a dick?
Give him our rebel password and he'll tell you how to get him to chains. The password's Rothschild Brandy. Don't forget it, or he'll likely kill you as Silver spies. And hurry up. I'm so worried I can't eat.
Does the bartender typically just kill everyone as spies? How do you run a bar if you just kill everybody? It doesn't make any sense at all.
What's the matter?
It's my father. He's dead. Fuge killed him. I tried to go back, but Fatbob pulled me away.
The goofiness of his name undermined the weight of that statement a little bit.
If he hadn't, Fuge would have killed you too.
I know, but I feel like I've let him down.
You're one of the bravest men I know.
No, you've lived to fight another day so that we can avenge him.
If you don't mind, I need to be on my own.
We need to go to the tavern and say, Rothschild Brandy. Oh, by the way, thanks for the cursed doubloon. That actually turned out to be very specifically useful, which you couldn't possibly have known.
Do you have a death wish?
Why are you such an asshole?
You're not welcome here.
We just want a flagon of mead and a Rothschild's brandy.
In that case, I keep all the rare stuff in the cellar. Follow me.
See, do you get it now? Do you regret being a raging dickbag to us earlier? What's the point of a bartender being a douche to everyone that walks in? Doesn't he want to sell booze? Isn't that what his job is?
Okay. Who gave you the password? And why are you here?
Fatbob. He said you'd help us. The Duke was captured at chains. We need a way into the prison that won't alert Fuge to our presence.
William told us of the ambush. He were right to come here. I've had word that the number of guards at the prison has doubled since the failed assault.
That's not surprising.
A frontal attack would be suicide.
Is there another way in?
We already asked that.
Yes, through the guards' barracks at the back.
Aha, that's what the key is for.
Lower Rain is flooded, so the pathway to the barracks is blocked.
So how do we unblock it?
We'll drain the flooded streets, I would
The
assume.
mechanism that opens the sluice gates in the sewers is rotten. You'll have to open the gates manually to drain the water. That door over there will take you through to them.
Why would the mechanism be rotten? Because it's underwater? Wouldn't you design the mechanism to be able to withstand being underwater if its purpose is to drain things when it gets flooded? That just seems like bad design to me.
Thanks.
But hey, as long as Mildew stops talking... And I can't move. Why can't I move? I can't move and I can't open the menu. But I can pause, so my controller hasn't died. Oh, God. Oh, fuck. Well, I guess I have to load my save. Which, unfortunately, I don't think I saved after the boss. Why are you doing this to me, game? What a weird bug. It's like the script that's supposed to return control to me after dialogue didn't happen, and so I'm still frozen as if I'm in dialogue. Well, I'll just fight the dragon again, why don't I? And this time I will save. Now, I can't move, but once they're off screen, I should be able to. And I'm not. I can't move. If this is going to happen every time, the game's now unwinnable. I can't hit L to like cycle through icons. I can't use the D-pad to change party members. I can't open the pie menu, even though the pause menu works. So let's reload. My only remaining idea is both times I did that, I was playing as a party member instead of David. So maybe they just fucked up and the game expects you to be playing as David there.
Okay.
Fatbob.
William.
Because he's turning to face me. I don't know, maybe the conversations built around... Oh, yeah, that's it. So yeah, the bug is that conversation is set up so that if you're not playing as David, it breaks completely. Also, I need to get out of this guy's way. Sorry, bro. So yeah, I think it is just because both times I did it. Like the first time I think I was playing as Cagen and then I was Sukuni. But I noticed that because he turned to face me, maybe that was the problem. So I'm glad I thought of that. But what a bizarre bug. That's the only conversation that's ever happened in, because actually I've rarely been David in this game, mostly because he's boring as fuck.
William, it's good to see you. We heard that you'd been captured with the Duke.
No, I was fortunate and managed to evade the guards. Did many make it back to...
My ridiculous green hair distracted them. Why is my hair green?
Son, we're on our way to Chains to free the rest.
But Fuge will be waiting.
And we'll kick his ass.
Not if we enter through the rear of the prison. At the moment the passage is flooded, Fuge will believe it's secure. Come with us. We could use your help.
I would, but I should get back to the camp. While the Duke's in prison, he'd want me to command the rebels. So I'll wish you luck, and I'll see you back in Haven.
I feel like that was an attempt for him to weasel out of coming along, but his argument that I guess we need a leader at camp is somewhat valid. Although there isn't really anyone left at the camp to lead. The kid whose dad is dead probably doesn't really want to do anything anymore for the rebels, and Fatbob is probably just really hungry. What do you have to say, sir?
If you're heading into the swords, you should learn this move.
Does it involve a plunger? Oh, holy
Call
shit.
it the Falcon. Trust me, you should try it.
Yeah, a vertical leap with a double front flip from a standstill is not something somebody can just tell you how to do. Wow, that squeal is unbelievably annoying. Okay, so I'm gonna give her... fuck it, I'll use up the knives just because we're fighting rabble here. Got a new weapon. David can have that. I'm assuming without exception these just get progressively better. Some serious color depth issue here. You can see the hard transition of the quantization steps in this sort of murkier area. Because like where I'm standing right now, there's no texture. And so without texture to break up the color values, it goes to areas of solid color, which at a low color depth means you see the boundary between the quantization steps very clearly. Not the best looking background in the game. Okay. I wasn't sure that's what I was supposed to do, but... yeah, these knives kind of suck ass. Guys, you want to attack the rats, or whatever they are? Wow, this weapon kicks ass. Yeah, the knives don't do enough damage to be worth it. So, longbow it is. Holy crap. Yeah, we're doing criticals for like 60 some odd. So yeah, the damage values are finally getting a ways up there. It did feel like now we're like, I think level 7. It did feel like the first several levels didn't make all that much difference in terms of the damage values we were putting out. Also, what are these things? Are these floating mines? Like classic naval mines with the spikes on them, and the chains are to secure them to the ground for when this area is full of water and they float upward? If not, why are there giant nurbly balls chained to the floor underground beneath a tavern for no apparent reason? Ooh, spiders. Classic fantasy game enemy that I'm amazed we have not encountered yet. Usually spiders are one of the first things you fight. Usually the first thing you fight is rats, and then the rats you graduate from rats to spiders. Okay, that kind of looks like it might be a way out, so I'm actually gonna go back. I don't know where this goes. But look at that dookie butter flowing through the channels in here, though. That is some rank-ass shit. I mean, I realize we're in a sewer, but that's nasty. Oh yeah, my punch is pathetic. See, the bow here does decent damage. Doing like 40 damage. That's pretty good. But realistically, that's about what the other guys are doing with attacks that don't consume ammo. And so even having gone and stocked up on arrows, look, I'm already half out. I was in the 90s, now I'm 52. So I've already blown through a lot of my arrows, which, you know, I'm going to want to have some for whatever boss we encounter. So I've used quite a lot of what I had just on the general insignificant enemies of the area. So this is really a limiting factor on having a character using ranged weapons. She's by far the best at it. And even then, it basically just makes her equal to the melee characters. But the melee characters don't run out of ammo. And I don't have to keep going back to the barracks to buy more arrows. So like, I feel like that's just not even remotely worth it. So yeah, I'm gonna give her the hammer, I guess, and save my arrows for a bit. Especially because these enemies are so easy to take out with button mashing. I don't need the range. Now this direction seems to be going on for a ways, so now I kind of wish I had gone the other way. These horribly compressed, aliased squeals are already getting on my nerves, and I feel like we're going to be listening to them for quite a while. That gate needs a key I don't have. Yeah, so with this weapon, the mace here, the thrust, as you saw, did very little damage, but even the side swipes did, which doesn't quite make sense. I would expect those still to do more damage. So, looks like on this thing, the highest damage is just from the regular mashing A attack, where you're not even holding L or holding R and doing the specific directions, which makes this weapon even more devoid of tactics than the combat has been so far, which is actually really quite remarkable, because you haven't really needed to think too much about which inputs you're putting in, but at least with like the longsword, you really do want to do the thrust specifically, because it does a lot more damage. Here you can just mash A. See, now there's dudes out of reach, which is exactly the thing. Wait, I swear I just equipped a bow, didn't I? There we go. I don't know why that didn't work the first time. But finally, the bow has a point. And luckily it doesn't seem to have a limit to range, because she appropriately aims upward to arc it. Now that definitely looks like an exit, so I'm actually going to backtrack to that other path, just to see where it goes. Oh, he just shot his buddy. I didn't even realize that was possible. I figured their shots would just go through allies. Cagen, you want to actually, like, do something? There's a rat munching on my ass. I would really like if you took it out so I could shoot the archers. You know, that way we could each be doing our specific roles that we're good at. Ooh, that's interactable. It needs some sort of valve handle I don't have. Okay. So I'm going to have to come all the way back here when I have that item. And this appears to be blocked even though there is a door behind it. So, well, back the other way. All right. That didn't take too long. Ooh. Hey. Cagen's backstep dodge is actually a whole back flip instead of just a step. So I think I just realized one of the benefits of the throwing axes. Ah. You can still have a shield with the axe equipped. Yeah. You can't swing it, though, which makes... Oh, and that's the valve spinner. Oh, so now I just have to go all the way back. So I was only one screen away from the thing I needed and decided to go all the way there to come all the way back. Just to immediately go, oh, no. Oh, holy crap. The throwing axes do a lot. 57. Well, that's fantastic, but they're very expensive to buy more of. Also, I've noticed the AI frequently does a sideways hop. So, like, if I'm in combat mode and you holding B as the shield, but tapping B as a backstep. So I can do a backstep, but I frequently see the AI-controlled companions, and even the enemies, do that sort of hop like that, but sideways. And I apparently can't do that myself. I've actually tried to do it, and there's no apparent way to do so. It's not like if you're holding to the side and hit B, you do a side hop, because even if you do that, you still just go backwards, not the side you're moving the stick. Oh, this goes down. Oh no. Clearly I'm supposed to go back to where that valve spinner is intended to go. Let's go ahead and use the lightning staff on these guys. If only because I haven't really used this yet. Ooh, does good damage. Doesn't have very many charges, just like the elemental swords I've had. And it's already empty. Awesome. Yeah, see, this does move onward. There's 2 ways onward. Well, aren't I supposed to go back to the valve? At least this area seems to have a good number of screens compared to some of the places we've been. Also, there appears to be a ramp down into Satan's butthole there. Whoa, that guy just got jibbed. I don't know who he was, but I'm sure that was really tragic or something. Ooh, 300 bucks. I could actually buy some useless arrows with that. Only to marvel at the fact that I don't really come out ahead doing that. Also, the AI does not seem to be aware which attack of its weapon is most effective, because, as you saw there, Sukuni just did a thrust with a hammer, which makes no sense. It's like they pick attacks randomly, and it may or may not be the one that's right for that particular class of weapon. So we have a save point, a descent into Satan's butthole, or we can go back the way we came and check the other route. I don't actually know which way I'm intended to be going here. I don't know if going down that ramp there will end me up at a location I'm under-leveled for. Oh, we're back to here. Oh, that door there isn't behind that grill. It's just the right of the screen. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, well, since I can get back here quickly, I'm actually going to check the other way. So this must be the way out into chains. I completely misinterpreted the background on that, the screen with the valve on it, because I thought that icon for the door was behind that sort of grill there, and spinning the valve would lift that or something. Wow, this is an interesting looking room. Maybe I should have saved. Well, it's red in here, so I'm going to assume ice magic's the way to go. Sukuni can have axes. They don't actually do that much. How about the lightning staff? Cagen, you want to, like, do anything? Ooh, that does nothing. Come on, Cagen, you dolt. Oh, that does nothing. Stop casting, you fucking idiot. Wait, why did my life magic just level up? I didn't cast it. So maybe casting any magic just makes spells go. Maybe they always go up in a specific order. I figured it was as you used each one, but apparently not. So for him, I guess I'm gonna unequip that. Ice Wand, I'm sure does nothing. That does nothing. How about Earth Magic? Yeah, that does nothing. So he's definitely just immune to magic, which means it's gonna be... Oh yeah. Get in physical range and then take tons of damage. I really regret not saving. Holy shit! Okay. Cagen, hail me. I wonder if the AI is smart enough to do that. It looks like they aren't, because he's not fucking doing anything. Oh shit, Life 2 is so expensive he can't even cast it. That might be why. There we go. He can cast it, but it takes almost all of his MP. And I sure wish these people would actually try to fight it. Well, no, I don't, because then they just take hits because they don't bother to dodge. Now say I have a 128 magic. He has 176, and it took basically all of it to cast Life 2. So I'm assuming... Even at full magic, David probably can't cast it, but the obvious thing to do here would be show on screen what the cost is, like when I highlight it. It's ridiculous that it doesn't. Maybe it does in the inventory screen? No, it just says what level it is, but it doesn't tell me the cost. Taste my falcon. Decent damage. Now let's do Scythe. I'm just gonna like rotate through my specials, I guess. Forgot, I thought that one had a little more range than that. Do Cleaver. That's a leap that's got a decent amount of range. The other two, I don't think are worth it, but I'll try it. Web of Death. Yeah, at this point, Web of Death does less damage than a regular attack. That's weird. So the specials don't scale. Oh, fuck. He does a lot of damage to the shields, doesn't he? Oh, fuck, yeah. Even my really good shields can only take like 2 hits from him. I feel like I am supposed to be a little higher level for this guy because I think I was supposed to go the other way. I guess I could be having Vivian use the axes. They weren't doing much, but they were doing more than 0. Of course, she won't do it on her own until I throw the first one. Oh, and then she just misses because of travel time. And she keeps throwing at him. She keeps throwing at him even when they do no damage, which is fucking brilliant. Yeah, I'm not going to bother with Sukuni. The ranged characters just make no sense. Get the fuck out of there. You buffoon. Why do I even bother? I should just get rid of my fucking party members. There. We got acid magic. Fantastic. So we got an orb I didn't even really know was here. Because our main objective right now is to go to chains, but I guess that's just a little bit of an extra. Let's go ahead and save.
Tell me of your deeds, adventurer.
I like that he gets reverb in big rooms like this.